Fall camp is officially here for LSU, and as we've seen over the years, the first few practices always seems to go to the offense. It is no surprise in year two for Brian Kelly that was exactly the case for day one, especially with the veteran group returning in an offensive line and fifth-year quarterback in Jaden Daniels. Another person to watch for this fall is Aaron Anderson, the Alabama transfer who is coming off a knee surgery from this spring. Now remember, the former Edna Carr standout was originally committed to the Tigers, then he decommitted after the firing of Ed Ogeron and headed off to Tuscaloosa. Now he's back in his home state and showing why he was the #1 recruit out of the state of Louisiana and fourth best wideout in the country.
We didn't do a lot with him, is mostly, running him out of the slot receiver. I think there's going to be a lot more to see from him, as we continue to build the offense. I think you'll see him involved in touching the ball in other areas as well, from the backfield. I think you'll see him in the special teams game. So today was the first glimpse. Obviously, he's got speed, explosiveness. He's kind of what we thought he would be. Our strength coaches really liked his work ethic, very strong in the weight room. So I would say that I think we've just scratched the surface in terms of what we can do with him.
There's a reason why Brian Kelly only has 2 losing seasons out of 33 years as a head coach, and that's because he adapts. He is doing the same thing right here in Baton Rouge, and he is now taking a more NFL approach to injury updates. During the season, he'll update the media on Mondays and Thursdays, identifying player injuries, and on game days, those players will be noted as either available or unavailable. An unusual move for a college head coach, and the first to do it in the SEC.
We'll be transparent with injuries. We thought it was important, given the nature of what's going on today out there relative to reporting and gaming, that we wanted to make sure that we were transparent with injuries, not putting any pressure on anybody here to guess who's in, who's out. So we came up with a protocol and procedure that's similar to what the NFL does. Look, I've had a hard time figuring out the difference between a cruciate and a posterior ligament. And half of the time I think I've been wrong. It just makes it easier. I think it's cleaner. I think it becomes more consistent. And I think then you have the expectation of knowing what you've got in front of you.
Someone who was not in the building for day one of fall camp was John Emery Jr. Head coach Brian Kelly did tell us that he simply missed it because he was finishing up an internship, but he would be back and ready to go for day 2. Covering LSU football for your Go Nation, I'm Chessa Bouche.